right, so here's where I'm at. I changed my plan midstream and decided to play around with this blending idea on the lips because I could create a gradient. I have never spent this long on my own lipstick, but this has been kind of fun. So now I need to think about if I want this to be black or perhaps gold. So I'm gonna pause and just think about it. So my next step is to let this thoroughly dry. Then I'm going to erase some of the stray pencil marks that I see. That way I have really good craftsmanship, hopefully. And then apply a thin coat of Mod Podge. If I do it while it's still recently painted, there's a really good chance that this black would actually be activated, kind of blend over the white, and I want to keep it nice and crisp. So I will probably let this dry for a couple of hours and apply my Mod Podge and then pick some embellishment. Now that the mask has dried thoroughly, I'm going to be applying what is called Mod Podge. This is a product that is very similar to glue, but I have to be honest with you, it kind of stinks. But what it does is seals off the surface of your mask, and it also gives it just a little bit of shine. It really helps to make it have a more cohesive feel. So I'm going to do that layer nice and thin right now. Our next step is to go on to embellishments. I think it's important to notice the goals for this portion of the project. It says the student will select a color, theme, or design which brings a sense of unity to the mask. Embellishments will complement the design. And you'll notice here it also says that we're creating a Renaissance style mask. So based on the learning that you did on the slideshow, you know that these masks often have a metallic, and the unity can come through a color scheme, and you can see that with this piece. So what I have are some gem options. You may have picked up one of these little pieces. They're made out of wood, and you can paint them whatever color you want. So you'll see that I did this rose a red color. You also have available to you this material called tulle. And I also selected a red ribbon that had kind of gold flecks, and then a series of black feathers. These are optional. I do think that you should have some kind of embellishment, and the simplest embellishment might be something like, 2 feathers and a gem. There's a lot of guys that have created these that would prefer something, and gals, that isn't as elaborate, and that would be just fine to do something simple like that. If you're doing the tulle, generally what I like to do is to do a couple bumps here, almost like you were going to tie a bow, and that can be set in place first. That creates a little bit of lift for everything else to be put on. And then I usually go from there with ribbon, and you can decide whether or not you want the ribbon to hang long, or if you want it to be short, or it could just be kind of an accent in the background without any length, and that's fine as well. So I usually do the tulle, the ribbon, and then the feathers on top of that. So I'll demonstrate this in just a moment. And then kind of the grand finale is this piece. So a gem or some larger object, and its primary purpose is to kind of cover up the glue that will accumulate here. This all is done with hot glue. and any of these would be a possibility. So you can get creative. Typically I have students who go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's and buy additional supplies to the ones that I can offer in class, and of course you're welcome to do that. Here's how my process is going to go. So this is how my piece turned out. I wanted to just mention a trick for you that might be a possibility if for any reason you struggle to make a clean line between two different areas. One thing that you can do is to add a gold ribbon or cording like this one along a line, and that can help to conceal any errors that may have accidentally been in that area. So that is something that you can also consider. It's also a great way to incorporate the gold or silver if you want something less elaborate. All right, I hope you have a fun time with this part of the project. When you're completely done, you're gonna fill out the reflection questions for the project, and then I'd love to see a picture of the mask and also a picture of you wearing the mask. And we are gonna be sharing these with a Renaissance style presentation with drama, CKC, and also music. Have fun.